It was recommended on the last Beatbox video that I had in the channel that I check this video out. So that's what we're going to do. This is GBB 2021 World League Solo Elimination. This is NaPoM. I'm excited. Let's go.
I ain't gonna waste time, we getting right into it. NaPoM, it's on you. You already know what to do, crowd. I say the 3, y'all say the 2 and the 1 in 3.
I'm having mad deja vu right now.
That was a cool introduction. I like that ascending lick at the end. That was cool. I like all the 3 variations of that. Let's go back and check out this intro again for about the minute mark right here. Yeah, I just like the composition and the rhythm delivery right there. Boo, and then there's no heavy on that next down, and it allows that groove to just kind of like, I don't know, have its own like little flow there. Into the all that's very interesting to me because you don't really get too much of anything right there. It's like it's a rug that's kind of constantly moving that you need to stay stable on. So I feel like it's a good way to bring the listener's ear in.
I'm having mad deja vu right now.
And it's cool because all that stuff, like we don't lose track of where time is. You know how it is. Like sometimes folks get into things and we rush or we drag. Everything is right in the pocket. So I definitely appreciate that about this. I mean, I'm obviously not singing any of that shit, right? But it doesn't matter what I do because I'm a nobody in this. But I definitely, what I'm trying to say is I appreciate the tongue click articulations and the ascension that are like melodic components within that groove. That's pretty dope. Yeah, man. How the fuck do you do that? It's like inward, outward stuff at the same time, but you probably can't. I got the noise get on the mic. It's just like that speed, but there's all those different like envelope type sounds. That's like super interesting. So I don't know the vocabulary. I appreciate the comments and stuff, but it's interesting to say the least from like an outsider point of view because it's just like, wow, how are you doing that? That's wild. Like the rhythm makes complete sense and the choices for said rhythms and how those grooves are developing. It's good composition, but I mean, that's like step 1, like understanding how to create something that like is fluid. It has a lot of like creativity to it, keeps the listener engaged. That's cool. But being able to do that with like your body instrument via like all these different non-conventional sounds, like that's where to me the musicianship comes out, and it's where I find it pretty fascinating. What is that, dude? That's like, I don't even know, dude. All this. Sorry, I just don't have the vocabulary to address this correctly, but that is pretty cool. The accent placement via all the spit sounds that is happening right now is pretty, it's a kind of a trip. Because you get that constant on the, like the inward, I don't know. Is it like a snare? I don't even know. But I don't understand how you make that sound, which feels like it's going in, but then the other percussive elements feel like they're going out. And they're so different in the way the timbre is because one is like breathy and heavy, and the other is way more like, it almost feels like there's, oh, I mean, there's reverb on the mic. So obviously there's probably some house play there from just what's going on. But it's just such a difference in the way this sound is created. I don't know. That's pretty weird, but weird in a great way. Yeah, it makes more sense why that dude, because at first I was like, wait, why is he making that face? But I was like, the first time listening, obviously we can't get that deep. but it makes more sense because of all that theme and variation that just went on. And then obviously he closes that phrase out now with this ascending melodic like statement here. That's cool. Now I know I stopped a lot, and stopping a lot's not for everybody, but some of you are definitely into it. So it is what it is. You can dig it, you can not dig it. There's lots of channels out there. But anyway, for me, that was a pretty interesting like 30 seconds, and that's a great way to like kind of captivate the crowd, in my opinion. To be like, I think you could be anybody and not know anything about music or rhythm or sound design or whatever, and you'd still find that pretty interesting because it's like, okay, what just happened? Let's keep going.
I'm gonna need a couple hearses. Double homicide could have beat in the verses. Everybody living on the surface, but I came for the underground. Yeah, I deserve this.
Before we get into this variation on it, man. So now we come into like this like low end. We're such a bass deliverance here. I'm not really the actual word delivery. I don't care about. That's not what interests me. So we can just skip over that. This is pretty fascinating though. I appreciate the use of space within the triplets, so you get partials 2 and 3. That's pretty cool. I definitely dig that. Interesting. Slight, it's like 2 or 3 clicks, man. It's just like the tempo. It's probably, I would assume that kind of stuff is taxing here. So we just lose a little bit on the BPM. Maybe it's compositionally on purpose. It just feels like it drags a little bit. It's not a big deal because it's not like you're singing with somebody else or trying to match, like you're not playing in time in an ensemble factor. You have all, but just for me, I'm a little stickler in time. If like, is the groove here? Does it stay here or is it meant to move? It's cool. Like it doesn't matter. Like it's just noticing like, oh, it has some flow there and it has some like realistic breathability, which is just an observation. That's all. So I definitely dig that. I like the tap drag stuff going on there. That's very cool because I feel like the style to create that sound, the articulation methods are so different than the like the low end vibrating bass stuff that's coming out. So like any like variations like that, I feel I mean, again, totally ignorant. It seems like it would be hard to do to get those to come out accurately, rhythmically accurate, deliver whatever the sound is that you're trying to do. And, you know, and so like it speaks correctly while doing those different, you know, like demands musically.
I'm gonna need a couple hearts.
That was cool. B, so you get the 30-second notes there versus our 60-note triplet stuff that was going on. That's cool. Okay, let's go on to the next section.
Double homicide could have beat in the verses. Everybody living on the surface, but I came for the underground. Yeah, I deserve this. Supersonic.
Okay, that's interesting. Jesus, dude, the fucking screen's like whoa, 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 whoa. That was cool. Okay, that was cool. I know that because so many things happened. I can't even remember what was in there, but I know they showed dude with the reaction face. So I was like, oh, clearly they know who to cut to when the intricate stuff comes in.
Supersonic.
Yeah, that's interesting. Biggity biggity boom, biggity biggity boom, biggity biggity, all that stuff. But like you got the siren sound happening. The that's the sound of the police. That's what sounds like that, dude. You know what I'm talking about? And then you got all this other stuff still diggity diggity da as they're like home base rhythmically, but it's just disguised in all these other things.
supersonic.
That's weird, dude. Because it's existing. You still have those 3 layers. They're not existing all at the same time, but they're existing very, very close in proximity to each other. So it's like the anatomy of what's going on the inside. Like, man, the closest I've ever gotten to any of this, I had to take a vocal pedagogy class once in college. And like, I don't know how this happened. Dude, when you're a music major, it's so many fucking classes. I missed it. Like, I did not get the class when it was offered to like everybody, and I had to take it one-on-one with a voice professor. It was like the most complex, like, look and study, not look, because you can't. It was all about like the inside of the throat and what goes on with voice box related stuff, what's happening with like lungs and air control and like in the mouth. Like, it's such a foreign thing because, you know, I'm a bass player and a percussionist. Like, dude, I'm so opposite of that. But that was so complicated. And like diaphragm, like to think about all the things that are happening there. I'm glad I got it though. It was intimidating as hell to sit one-on-one with a voice professor though. Like, when you're not a vocalist, like, it's just like not a place you want to be. It's not a place I wanted to be, but it was super educational. I'm glad I did it now. Like, it gives you like a lot of respect to vocalists because it's such a different gig. But for this, like, I want to sit down with someone that does this, like, but like at the highest level and be like, all right, dude, explain all this stuff. Talk about what you're feeling. Like, how long did it take to develop said skills? What do you have to like visualize? What are you conceptualizing mentally to hit? Like, I'm going to call them notes, even though there's like, you know what I mean though? Like, what do you have, like, what are like the foundations for practicing to be able to execute this at this BPM? And then when you crank it up, like, what are you doing here? Like, because that's how everything is, right? Like, it's fundamentals. Every instrument practices fundamentals. People discover that on their own or from someone else. Like, there's methods to everything and there's variations on said methods, but there are also the most effective methods for everything that exists musically. There is some way that is the most effective way. And granted, that can differ from person to person, but that is how the structure of all this works. So I would be very interested in someone that is like super skilled and very, very proficient to explain what is going on the inside to be able to execute all this stuff within close proximity to each other. And then how do you layer each, like one of those against another one, and then maybe a third, and then maybe there's a fourth that come in a row, and maybe 2 of them are happening at the same time. That's where things are so different for me, because when you're manipulating an instrument, like say like a bass or a guitar or drums, that is it's not alive, dude. You make it tangible because you do articulations on it. This is different because everything is hidden and inside and you can't see it. Like, voice is such a different instrument. So sorry, we're doing Tangent Tony here, but these are like just the legit questions that are in my head all the time. That's so weird.
Dip, 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 you.
Isn't that it right there? Isn't that it, dude? Like, it's funny how that works with crowds. And it's just not knocking it, right? Like, you know, to got, got. Like, you could teach a 5th grader how to do that pretty successfully in like 25 seconds. Look at the crowd. Huge fucking response, right? You just play the most basic groove. Now, granted, the tone of that bass and like how just overwhelmingly huge it must feel. And that sound system, I get it. Like, you know, everyone responds. But look at it, like, everyone will go nuts for that. Where some of the super intricate stuff with the beat, I said earlier, like, you can know nothing about music, you might dig it. That's not necessarily always true. Someone might be like, this sounds kind of weird, you know. But this part though, for like a mainstream, like especially a younger audience, they're definitely going to respond to that. I just think it's funny. Like, you want to unlock that key, write this in your composition.
Yo, I heard you like that trap music, that funky trap music.
There we go.
Hold on. Let's get
that was cool. So with the point being just said, turn the key, unlock the audience, but then put a little more technical prowess on it, and then you get like some cool sawtooth sounding like synth wavy type thing going on. That's pretty dope.
that trap music, that funky trap music.
I swear to God, that inward like snare sound has so much reverb on it. I don't know how much of that's from the mic or how much it's able to create. That's just very entertaining to listen
Hold
to.
on. Let's get this shit. 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 Let's.
That sound.
Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit. Let's get.
He wants to get that shit. We know, bro. You said it about 37 times. Okay, dude. As simple as it is, pull the mic away, bring it back. I'm a sucker for like just easy ass dynamic stuff like that. But it makes a difference, right? It's just that little like pattern interrupt. You're gonna reset your audience. That's cool. By the way, the theme and variation here now, this in out like huff 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 breathing thing. That was a sick groove. That was very cool. I can't imagine how much the speakers are moving air right there. That's cool.
Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit. Click, clack, boom. Click, clack, boom.
Okay.
Click, clack, boom. Like this.
Yeah, okay, there we go. That now it feels like a virtuosic, like this is like here's the Ram section. We had all these grooves, we had all these teases, we had all this build up, and now it's like boom, climax. We're arriving, we're playing. There's still a minute left in his, you know, his time limit here, but dang, that was pretty that was pretty thick with a lot of things. I don't know what to say. I was like, okay, there's so much stuff happening that seems very, very difficult to do. We're just gonna go back a chunk here. Oh wait, no, there was that snare though. It was super tight and like higher pitched. Hold on. Well, I missed it, but that's okay. This part is super. We talked about the synth wavy sawtooth kind of thing. It has now like developed so much into almost an unrecognizable cousin in comparison to what we had a moment ago. I love that rhythm. That's interesting. The bass with the brrr, where it like reverberates. He's doing like, it feels like two versions where one is way more like lip, like moving lip type, and one is something else. But the degree of separation between those two like make the groove like super, super, super good. Like that's real fucking nice to listen to. Yeah, dude. That's just, man, that's a person doing that. That's pretty fascinating, man.
You can hold like this.
That's quite the metric modulation shift right there. Okay, what? Let's go back a little bit, because when we get the super condensed and everything goes to here, hearing the way we're using the closed off kind of bass section versus the moving notes, that, which daga, like when you think you're playing like a brass or a woodwind instrument and you're thinking about how you're tonguing, like single or triple, double kind of tonguing articulation, it's kind of a similar effect. Obviously, you probably wouldn't say it like that in the beatbox world, but it's I don't know, the outcome's similar.
Get hold like this.
Just a varying degree of tempo switch here. Not an issue, as I imagine to make that sound probably requires just different placement and stuff. So I can see why that would happen. It's too bad it's not perfectly in the same groove tempo as before. It's okay. So I'm curious. I'm gonna let it go. I'm curious where this go. But right now, I do feel like this little shift with the metrics is a huge speed bump in what had just happened, because I felt like it was just like skyrocketing. But let's see. Oh, that's interesting.
One time for the fun time. Two.
Yeah, there was like all those like low huffy bass. I don't know what kind of articulations you call them, but that was pretty dope. I imagine live.
One time for the fun time, two time for the fun time. Everybody hit it. One time for the fun time, two time for the fun time. One time for the fun time, two time for the fun time. Let's get it.
Cool. Time. Yeah, you think? That was cool. It was a good marriage of sounds at the end. For me personally, though, I really did like conceptually thinking like where that was heading and where that went. And then when that shift happened, I did feel like that took like a couple of rungs out of the ladder as far as like what the overall like ending experience, how the phrasing went. But dude, that was cool. Like all of these always, it's a very humbling thing to listen to think like, God damn, dude, people are so creative with all the stuff that they can make. And so yeah, let's click play to see if there's anything else on here. I feel like it's probably, audience and MC. Yeah. That was really cool. Okay, so that was the watch on that. What else should we be doing? These are a ton of fun, man. So please and thank you on the recommendations. My name is DrumRollTony. Catch me live on Twitch. Links for that is all down in the video description below. Please and thank you. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel so you can catch the next one. YouTube thinks you want to watch one of these two videos next. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Have a great day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.